All right, day 3 of my daily run. I'm gonna try to beat my average pace and overall time. Let's do it. Okay, so I improved by 2 minutes. It's progress. Feel great. Okay, so it's Thursday morning. It's around 8:15. On my way to work, and here's what's going on today. Going to work, doing my usual 8 hours, and then heading to my parents' house to practice. It's one of our last practices before Sunday. This Sunday my dad's gonna be, my parents are gonna be presented as members of the church, so my dad requested that we play as a band again. It's been like 5 years or more that I haven't played with my brothers as a group. There are so many ways that you can record a vlog. You can push record and let it record all day, and then at the end of the day you can just chop it up and tell people your story and create a nice narrative out of it. Or you do what I do and just hit record on certain moments that you want to tell the world, and that's what I do. If I were to record the whole entire day, it would be pretty challenging to scrub through all that footage and tell a story out of that. I'll be there for hours. So I'd rather have control of the record button and record what I want, so that way it's easier for me to put it in the edit bay and tell a story out of it. So that's kind of what I do. So I went running this morning and it felt amazing. The one thing I don't want is to be the stereotypical fat husband. I'm strongly against that. I don't want that husband belly. I prefer to be fit, be healthy. My wife is doing her own thing, I'm doing my thing, and my thing is running early morning. For some weird reason, my brain is just like programmed to wake up at 6 in the morning. Instead of me just spending more time sleeping, let me just wake up, go run for 30 minutes and come back. And it's been really good. The first time I ran a mile in like 12 minutes. Actually, no, it was worse. It was like 15 minutes a mile. And then the second time I ran it in 11. Today I ran it in 9:41. Yeah, well, here's the stats right here. It's just good for you, especially with all this going on with my company, with work, with just life in general. It's good to release. And I think I've seen a difference in the way that I carry myself when I comparing to how I ran and how I feel at work now with before. I would sit at work and I guess halfway through my day I would feel very groggy, very just tired, and now that I'm running I feel like I have more energy. I used to do track and football. I actually ran 2 marathons during that time in high school with my dad, and my dad is a marathoner. I think he's ran like at least 17 marathons, maybe more, I'm not sure. But he's run a lot of marathons, LA marathons, like the 26.2, not the half or the 5K or the 10K, no, like full on 26 miles. And to this day, there's no way I could beat him on a race. There's no way. Okay, so recording a vlog is somewhat of a challenge because you want your time to be best used. When I record, I usually record on my Android S7 and it does great. The autofocus, the exposure, it's all good. It makes my life easy. I don't have to worry about focusing, or I don't have to worry about the exposure, the shutter speed. It just does it all. It is great. It records at like the front camera, I believe it's 2K, the back camera is like 4K. More than what I need, and it makes my life easy, and I can easily just bring it into Dropbox, take out the footage and put it into my edit bay, Premiere Pro, and just kick out a story. That's great. I took my DSLR to Disneyland and it was horrible. You can watch the video right here, somewhere over here, and it was a nightmare because I had to worry about the exposure, I had to worry about the focus, And on top of that, my camera is a Canon 60D. It's not the greatest camera ever. It's pretty old. It's outdated. It doesn't have the, you know, the focus tracking that most new cameras now have. The exposure was just kind of janky. It would expose the background rather than the foreground. So if I was under the shade, to give you an example, and the background was lit up, it would properly expose the background rather than me. So basically it'll be a talking shadow figure, so the footage was worthless. I had to worry about that. On top of that, it's an 18mm, and that's the widest lens I have. If it was a full crop sensor or a full frame camera, it'll be no problem at all. It'll be great. But the fact that it's a crop sensor, it's my 18mm turns into like a 24, which means I'm holding the tripod like super awkwardly, and people are like, what is this guy doing? So my DSLR is great, but I still need more tools with it. That's why I'm still recording on my Android S7. I need to purchase a new lens, preferably a 10mm, maybe a little zoom on it, but I want a 10mm. Second, I need a smaller microphone. My Rode mic is huge and it's awkward just carrying that thing around. So for now, bear with me. My S7 Android will do the work. My GoPro are my two cameras that I'm gonna go to for recording my vlogs. Those are little tips that I use for my vlogs. I mean, again, it's whatever you have in your hands. Nowadays, all the phones have a pretty good camera. So all I have to say is you have the tools in front of you, just get to work. Just got home from my parents, played drums for a bit. Time to go home and rest. Vlog over.